Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. As we trudge our way along towards Saturday's game against Brighton, and I'll be honest, I've got absolutely no hope for this game, and I know that's terrible, and I know people tell me what a bad fan you are, but at the moment, just don't see where points are coming from, and unfortunately, felt like this since January, from the moment we didn't buy what we needed. Well, I'll be honest, I felt half this way in the summer when we didn't buy what we needed. But then to see all the injuries and how we started the first half of the season, and then to not buy it kind of killed all my belief in the club, right? It's kind of killed all of my belief in the club. And what I'm noticing more and more people who would fight me on this for months and now sort of saying, yeah, we get it, what you've been saying about the squad. It's funny because the number of messages I get from people going, oh, you said it was just Ange and that the players were great. I mean, I don't think I ever said that. I don't think once I've ever said that. I think I've been very consistent for years in saying that I think the transfer windows are shit. I'm seeing this one ESPN article going around talking about why Spurs are where they are. And it's like, Maz messaged me earlier. I said, this isn't a shock to anyone. We don't need an article to tell us why this squad has been put together the way it is. It's terrible recruitment. It's no plan. Everyone now looking for discovery and answers as to why it's been coming. If you keep buying badly, yeah, the injuries don't help. But if you keep buying badly, you're going to be a bad team. And everyone's saying it other than Spurs fans, not all Spurs fans. Went to Leyton Orient last night. Lubo and I went and did our scouting mission. I'm going to say no one that I saw last night is going to be playing for Tottenham next year in the Championship. But it was interesting because we were speaking with Orient fans and Mansfield. I spoke to a couple of Mansfield's fans before the game, and they said, "Who do you support?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a Spurs fan." And they said, "Oh God, wouldn't want to be you lot." And I'm like, "This is Mansfield, who were like 4 points off relegation in League One, saying wouldn't want to be you lot, wouldn't want to be you lot." And I think what we're seeing again, that it doesn't seem to matter who the manager of this football club is right now. It's a mess. Like, I'm so bored of these silly comments that come into all these shows going, oh, but Ange, oh, but Frank, oh, but Tudor, oh, but I feel like we're not realizing how bad this is and how much we relied on Maddison and Kulu and Son. And, I feel like we're still not getting it. I don't think we bought, as I said, I've said for years, right? I can't, said for years, we've not bought technical footballers. We've not bought ball players. We've not bought creators. We've not bought goal scorers. We've bought a lot of nothing. We've bought a lot of huff and puff. And if we go down, I think more and more people, and this is the shame of it, I think more and more people are starting to talk about it's almost like we are down. That's the shame of this, right? So let me give you an example. So last night, Lubo and I, once the game had finished, we went back into the box. We had into the corporate dining area, and we were speaking with the main guy who was running the room, and he was a Barnet and Spurs fan. He was like, oh, my team's Barnet, but my Premier League team is Spurs. And he was saying, look, he said, everything. He said, years of bad recruitment. He said, it's a soulless football club now that are purely about the stadium. He said, the owners have killed it. He said, anybody that thinks the owners at ENIC have not killed this club, he said, then they don't really understand what Tottenham were. And the more he talked, I was just like, yeah, everyone's saying this to me now. Everyone's almost saying, yeah, there's no character. There's no, even our captain has no fight, no character, this is what we've built over the last however many years, and we kind of have to own it. Whether we like it or not, whether we want to pretend, whether we're, I see those fans that are like, we're the greatest team in the world. Sure. But this has been coming. The data's told us this has been coming. The players that we want to praise have never really done anything at all, but we praise them and praise them and praise them. And look, I feel like things change and move. So I get people a lot say, but you thought we'd finish 7th and you thought we'd finish 9th. None of that matters. What matters is as the season unfolds and you're seeing, this isn't working, thinking, right, what are we going to do to try and change it? And we did nothing. We did nothing. And in that regard, they kind of own it. In that regard, ENIC have to own it. And as I've said this for ages, everyone wants their own individual villain of the piece, right? Don't they? Everyone wants their own individual villain to who to blame this on. I saw Chris Cowlin yesterday blaming Frank, and it's like, okay, mate, but, Frank was sacked a long time ago. We've had a lot of games to play. So if it was just Frank, I heard the players are down tools for Frank. Okay, that's fine. So then why haven't we won a game since he's gone? Why have we got one win in 6? I'm not saying keep Frank. I'm not saying excuses for Frank. By the way, I saw it last night. Someone in Sean's chat said, Savva was making excuses for Frank. I haven't made excuses for Frank. I think the whole thing's a shit show. I'm just trying to add some context that I keep hearing this manager will do it. This manager will change it. This one. We're losing every week under every manager. And I just feel like the information's there. The data's there. Visually, we can see the players aren't good enough. We've seen it for years that these players aren't good enough. And still, we don't want to admit it. So many do, by the way. There's so many that do. And there's so many that still want to find every other reason under the sun as to why we're not good. At the end of the day, you can have the best stadium, the best training ground, the best owners, the best this, the best that. If you don't have good footballers on the pitch, you're not going to win games. Surely it's got to that simplicity stage, right? Where we go, well, yeah, if I'm playing a front three of Solanke, Richie and Moani, I don't expect to win games, right? So like when the team news came out of the weekend and I said, God, I thought we were going to win this game until I saw the lineup, right? And you say, why would people expect to win games when you've got a midfield three of Gray, Bergvall and Gallagher and you've got a front three of Moani, Richie and Solanke? I don't get it. And we'll do it again this weekend, right? And we'll do it again this weekend. And we will talk about Xavi Simmons in a bit, hence the title of the show. But I'm not surprised now. The performances I'm seeing, people are going, I don't know what's happened to us. What do you mean? We've filled the team with average footballers. What do you mean you don't know what's happened to us? We've filled the team with no fight, no graft. We've removed the one big grafter we've got in Paulinho. We've removed the battling qualities. We've removed the creative qualities. Right? We've got crap strikers. I mean, look, the moment Spurs signed Richarlison, and I'm not even going to talk about Moani because he's on loan. The moment Spurs signed Solanke and Richarlison tells me we're not a serious football club. We're not a serious football club in any way, shape or form. They're not goal scorers. They've never been goal scorers. They're not good with the ball. They're not skillful. The midfield, we've bought no ball players, no real creators, no dictators, no conductors, no technical quality in the midfield other than James Maddison. At the back, don't even have fullbacks. And the more I look at it, I still can't understand the number of shows I watch, the number of people I see comment that can't seem to make this work in their head as to how these players aren't good enough. Now, are they bad enough to go down? Well, 2 years in a row now, they've kind of showed you that, yes, they are. 2 years in a row. It's actually nearly 20 months, but we won't go there. We'll just do the last 2 years. It's actually been 2 years in a row that these guys have showed you that once a few players are out injured, the rest of the players aren't good enough. They've shown us, and we don't want to believe it. And I see Spurs fans going at each other all the time. They're just going, what are you going at each other for? This isn't about, we didn't do this. This is them. This is the club. The club did this. We should all be annoyed with them. All the point scoring. You said this, I said this, they said that. None of that matters. We're a mess. We're an absolute mess. None of that matters. None of it matters. I went on to the Spurs 5 the other night. The number of people in the chat that just can't stop talking about Frank. It's like, we're on a third manager of the season. What are we talking about Frank for? They're the same people that told me this is all on Frank. Anyone but Frank. Well, since that change has been made, we haven't won a game. We haven't won a game. So could it be the players? I don't know. Well, Tudor got sacked. Could it be the players? Well, I don't know. De Zerbi couldn't get anything out of them at the weekend. All right, it's only one game, but so again, could it be the players? Could it be? I don't know. I saw people in the January transfer window belittling the idea of Lookman and Akliouche. And the same people are praising the Bergvals and the Tells and the Odebers and the Richies and the Solankis and the Moat. And you sit there and you think to yourself, what are we doing? Like, do we deserve this as fans? Do some of us deserve this for some of these? Like, wouldn't want Marcus Rashford. He's a bad egg. Sure. Marcus Rashford walks into this team. And the funny thing is, we could do this next year with the same squad and still we wouldn't think it's the players. You know, you need 2 or 3 really good footballers in your team to be in that top 5, top 6, top 7. Right? You need your Madisons, your Sons. And then when they are not available, you replace them with better, with the same quality. We don't do that. We don't. And that's why my problem was never letting Son go. My problem was they had all summer. Didn't replace him. They didn't replace him. And you have to look at that and go, shocking. Ignorance, arrogance. It's shocking. It's absolutely terrible. I will do it next window. Who we wanted wasn't available. Sorry, what in the whole of world football, we couldn't find a really good left winger. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. The myriad of things that are wrong at this football club, it's just plentiful, isn't it? There's just so much wrong. There's just so much wrong at this football club that I can't begin to put it on one. You can't begin to go, it's that player. Like, you watch this weekend, if we don't win, there will be a player that is the scapegoat rather than all of the players. So at the weekend, there was those that go, oh, this is all on Bergvall. No, Bergvall was shit. It's not all on him. This is all on Gallagher. No, Gallagher was shit, but it's not all on him. This is all on Solanke and Richard. No, it's not. This is the collective. But we can't seem to do it. We can't seem to realise that as a collective, this is a really poor squad. And is it poor enough to go down? Probably not. In theory. But that's not how human behaviour works. When you get into a rut, when you start losing games, when you lose that ability to see a win, this is what you're left with. Right? This is what you're left with. And it snowballs. West Ham were too good to go down that year, right? Jermaine Defoe, Carrick, Di Canio, Sinclair, like they went. Newcastle, the year they went down, they were too good to go down. They were too good to go down. They went down. And that's why, for me, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I think we are going down. If we stay up, I think it will be more of a shock for me to stay up than go down. Now, I could be completely wrong and we win our next 3 in a row. right? We could win our next 3 in a row and we go, phew. As it stands, I can only go by what I'm seeing. And as it stands, I can't see a point. We're not even in games. We're not troubling goalkeepers. We are not even battling and fighting the way Leeds and West Ham and Forest are. We're not. And you know what? As I said many times, those clubs seem to have gone back to basics. Those clubs seem to have gone back to the basics of football. People in their right positions. Let's get a back 4. Let's get a midfield that works hard, a couple of creators and a goal scorer. Spurs seem to do the complete opposite. Spurs seem to need to reinvent the wheel every week. Every week, a different formation, a different this, a different that. And that's why I was really annoyed with De Zerbi at the weekend. I thought he got it terribly, terribly wrong. 3 strikers. So you got no width, no creativity there. Like, I just thought it was, listen, as I said a million times, I don't rate Tell. I don't rate him, right? Doesn't mean everyone else has to not rate him, whatever people want. But right now, he's the only player we've got with width that can be an outlet. Now, I don't think he does a lot with that, but I'd rather that than Richie on the left. I'd rather a guy that at least is going to try and run at his man. Do you know what I mean? At least we know that Tell can get a good cross in every now and then. I almost understand it on the right because there's no one available, is there? There's no, there's no Odeber, there's no Kudus. We sold Johnson. But I don't even think that we're trying to stay up. I know everyone will say, I don't think we're trying to stay up right now. The players have that look. You know that? You watch them when they come down the tunnel before the game. You watch the West Ham players and the Leeds players. You watch the steely look on their face. Watch ours. It just feels like it's a bit of a laugh. Not saying they're laughing, but it just feels like it's a bit of a, we'll leave anyway if we get relegated. And that is why everyone wants us to go down, don't they? Every fan that doesn't support Tottenham, you ask them, who do you want to go down other than West Ham, Leeds or Forest and Spurs? They'll say Spurs. Because we're a laughingstock. We've been arrogant as a fan base. Remember a few years ago having the conversations about Aston Villa saying, look, this is a proper run club. They're going to go play. We're better. How many people told me we're better than Villa? But Villa buy sensibly. Villa don't buy well. Villa buy sensibly. And what have Villa done the last 3-4 years? Right up there competing for the top 4 every year. Sensible. Look what we do. Spray and pray. No structure or logic to any of the players we sign. Just spray and pray. We don't know what we're signing them for. We don't buy leaders. We bring in players and don't play them in their position. It's just, it's truly, truly not that hard to fathom it out anymore. I see these people representing Spurs on Sky Sports and TalkSport, and they're baffled. I just can't believe it. You're like, why can't you believe it? You were the ones making videos about why Tell changes Spurs, why Bergvall is the hidden secret in the Premier League. These are the people that make these videos with no rationale behind it. No reason to do it. We'll sign another 19-year-old in the summer. There'll be another video telling you why this 19-year-old solves Tottenham's problems. Just buy sensibly. Get a formation, stick to it, adopt a philosophy of play, and buy players for set positions. I don't understand why this is so bloody difficult year on year. This is not difficult. What have Bournemouth done to reinvent the wheel? Nothing. Let me tell you, what have Bournemouth done? They haven't reinvented anything. Bournemouth have got a way of playing and they buy players that fit into the positions they need. Semenyo, our winger, has gone. Right, I know what we'll do. Rayan, we're going to bring you in. Now, you're not as good as Semenyo. Not yet. You're young. But you fit into our mould. Boom. You go, yeah, that makes sense. Not Spurs. Not Spurs. We don't do that because, one, we don't have a way of playing and haven't for years. 2, we don't have a philosophy. 3, we're crap at scouting. And 4, we can never seem to get the players we need over the line. I'm in awe. I look at Brentford, the way they run as a club. I look at Brighton, Bournemouth. These are clubs we are, in terms of history, we are massive compared to them. How well run they are. Look how well run these football clubs are. And you say it every year and you get, oh, it's only them. I've seen it all season. God, it's only Brentford. It's only Brentford. Thomas Frank still thinks he's at Brentford. What do you mean? We're a fucking shambles. What do you mean, Brentford? That's a well-run club. We're a mess. They're not in danger of relegation. We are. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is, but you hear it all year, don't you? You hear it all year. We'll beat them at home. It's only Palace. What do you mean it's only Palace? If I say to you, you go, let's play this game. I say to all of you in the chat, and by the way, smash the like button. What's Crystal Palace's identity? Right? You all know how they play, right? We all know how Crystal Palace play. 3 solid centre-halves, wing backs getting up and back, right? Solid in midfield. Will Hughes will do all the doggy work. Adam Wharton will do all the nice passing. And then you've got 3 forwards. Mateta, who's your battering ram, gets in a box, scores goals, gets penalties, holds it up. And you've got 2 around him that are busy and buzzing around. We know what Palace are. Right? We know. We know what Palace are. Now, that doesn't mean Palace will always be that, because obviously Glasner's going. New manager might come in and change something. But we know what they are. We know that Bournemouth, we know they will play a 4-2-3-1. We know how they will play. We know how they will play. Now, this might change because Iriola's going, but we know what they've implemented. We know what they've implemented. Fulham, we know what Fulham are. What are Spurs? What are we? I'm not knocking the club. I'm just asking, what are we? What about Spurs do you look at as a fan and go, cool, I get that? When was the last signing? I say a signing. When was the last set of signings and you went, see what we're doing here, what we're built? Never. Like, I just can't remember. And I heard this at the beginning of the season. I remember when we were going, it's only Leeds. It's only Wolves. It's only Burnley. It's only West Ham. It's only Fulham. It's Brentford. It's Brighton. It's Bournemouth. We've got fans that think this squad is better than Aston Villa's and Newcastle's and Man United's and Chelsea. Like, those fans have not woken up, have they? They're the ones that think it's a computer game. They're not realizing that you need square pegs for square holes and you need to bring in players that perform a function. They're not realizing that we don't have a left winger. How are you ever going to have balance to your team? You don't have a proper left winger. We haven't got a ball playing midfielder. How are you going to have balance to your midfield if you don't have a ball playing midfielder? But we have this same chat week after week, season after season. Doesn't go in. So many people sit there and go, great squad. Why? Why is it a great squad? All those people for years, they've told you Van der Ven and Romero is the best centre-back partnership in the league. I think they're one of the worst. I'll say it. I think they're one of the worst centre-back partnerships in the league. Mistake-ridden. Oh, but that's because they're playing for insert manager. They're mistake-ridden with every manager. Oh, but Udogie, he's going to come good under the next manager. I mean, how many managers has this boy had? I never ever watch him and go, yeah, good left back. So I think that our arrogance has caught up with us as a club. I think our arrogance, our ignorance has caught up with us. Years of not building, implementing, buying what we need. years of making bad hires from directors of football, managers, players, medical. It's caught up with us. And I know people don't want to hear that. And I know there are people out there who go, Savva's so negative. Somebody messaged me yesterday and went, sorry, Sav, I can't watch your shows anymore. They're too negative. I said, please, could you tell me what positive can I possibly put out there right now? Didn't respond. What positives am I drawing right now? I don't know. What positives are you, or any of us drawing right now? I don't think any of the players are playing well. I don't think any of them are playing well. I don't blame them as well. Some of them aren't good enough, and some of them constantly being moved around. 1 week playing there, next week playing there. Then you're playing a back three. Now it's a back four. Now it's a back five. We're playing wing backs this week. This time we're playing wingers. Now we're going to play 3 strikers. Now we've got 2 attackers. Now we've got 1. It's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. And if we stay up, it must be the wake-up call they need. It must be. I just don't think we're going to stay up. I don't. I hope I'm wrong. You, all of us don't gain anything from going down. Do we? We don't gain anything from going down. We don't. There's no good to it going down. I see people message me going, you want us to get relegated? I'm like, no, I don't want us to get relegated. And again, wanting to get relegated and thinking we're going to get relegated are 2 very different things. I want to go to Barbados with my wife. I can't afford to go to Barbados with my wife. 2 very different things. Doesn't mean I don't want to go, right? Going down is going to kill this football club for years, in my humble opinion. I was just having this chat backstage with Perchy about, look at the squads that are coming up. Look at the squads. Coventry have got Ipswich, Millwall, Borough. Look at the squads these teams have got. Southampton, all of it in the top 6, right? They're not filling it with young players. They're filling it with men. They're filling it with experience of that league. This is a different league. I watch a lot of Championship. I like the Championship. First of all, I hate VAR. So I love the Championship. But it's a tough old slog. It's a tough slog to get out of. And I don't think we're equipped for it. I think there's some... Oh, should we just get rid of that idiot in the chat? I saw some of you earlier say, how long until that Samuel pisses me off? He's just an absolute... I'll say it. This is a cunt of a human being, this guy. Everything he says is nasty about others. He is an absolute cunt of a human being. I've never seen him say anything nice in any chat or be nice. I've never seen him say, hi, how is everyone? Let's talk about this. Everything is just awful. He is a horrible human being. Anyway, who have we got if we go down? I'll tell you who I think we've got. I think someone like Danso, if he stayed. I think someone like Danso. I think Ashley Phillips, who's in the Championship right now. Papa Sarr, maybe. Sorry, just deleted that guy for good. Papa Sarr, maybe. Who else? Who's staying? Who can we keep? Who can we afford to keep? Who? I look at I look at teams that have come up. Now, Sophie, you're in the chat. You might tell me if I'm wrong. Am I right in saying the year you came up, you had people like Jeff Kendrick in midfield? Am I right in saying that? Because I know when Villa came up, they had people like Conor Hourihane, John McGinn, fighters, battlers that get you out of that league. When the Burnleys come up, they've got people like Josh Brownhill, Cullen. We don't have these players. We don't have these players, these men that get you out of that league. And my worry is, I think we're going down. I do. I think it will be more a shock to stay up. My worry is if we go down, who are we entrusting to build a squad for the championship? Honestly, have a look. I know a lot of people don't watch this league. Go and have a look at the squads that these teams have assembled. It is not Tells and Odeberts. It is not Greys. It is men. It's men. Now, you know what I would do if we go down? I was having this chat last night with Lubo. God, we had a cracking bit of food last night, Lubo and I. Oh, yeah, we had, what did we have? Pork loin with crackling, roast potatoes, cauliflower cheese. And then between Lubo and I think we had about 9 desserts. They had a dessert buffet. God, I didn't need to eat any of it. I wasn't hungry and I just ate and ate and ate. Anyway, and I said to him, I said, Lubo, the one player, what I would do next year, if we go down, I would go to Middlesbrough immediately and go, I want Hayden Hackney. Give me Hayden Hackney. That boy goes in my midfield. There's my captain. He knows the championship. He's been battling for promotion the last 3 or 4 years. He knows the league. That's the type of player. That's the type of player that we will need to buy. It won't be all of these young superstars that everyone thinks that we've got. It will be experience. It will be people that have been there, seen it, and done it. And this is why I see people talking about the championship with arrogance. We fly back up. Well, who stays? Richie's definitely gone, right? Mawani goes back from his loan. Paulinho goes back from his loan. Kudus, I can't believe that Kudus, Gallagher stay in the championship, right? I don't think Bergvall will, even though I don't even think he'd be that great in the championship. Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie all go. My 2 centre-halves next year, if we go down, Danso, Ashley Phillips. There you go. Danso and Ashley Phillips. That's my 2 if we go down. Because you've got Ashley Phillips, who's been down there a few years now and getting good reviews this season. And Danso, for me, would be superb in that league. That is that type of player. But people talk about Vuskovic. I don't think Vuskovic is going to come back to this. Kudus will want out. Xavi will want out. Will Madison stay? Don't know. Who's going to grab you goals? Does if Solanke stays, he grabs you goals. Does Solanke stay? I don't know. We go down, and I was literally just saying this backstage. Spurs are going to Spurs fans are going to have one hell of a reality check in terms of the type of players we're going to need to have and buy to get out of that league. We're going to have a massive reality check, and it's going to be players that fans are going to lose their mind at. They're going to lose their mind at it, aren't they? Because anyone we bring in, we don't think is good enough anyway. You think, look at Burnley when they get promoted. It wasn't Josh Brownhill their top goal scorer in the championship last year? If I'm not wrong, can someone check that for me? I'm pretty sure that Josh Brownhill got something like 16 or 17 goals from midfield, 15 goals from midfield. You need those players. You need your Josh Brownhills. You need your Barry Bannons. Don't you? You need your Hayden Hackneys. And this is the worry that I still see it, even to this day, the arrogance. Now, don't worry, if we go down, we'll be all right. I don't know if we will. Look at Leicester. Look at Leicester. If I'm not wrong, and I don't know whether my man Wayne is in the chat, who's a Leicester City fan. If I'm not wrong, I think Leicester were favourites to win the title in the summer. If I'm not wrong, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure Leicester were the favourites to win the title. Right? They've had a midfield all year. Winks and Skip. They're bottom three. Winks and Skip. They've had players like Ayew, Patson Daka, Fayez. They've had players that were all Premier League players. And they've gone Premier League, bottom three of the Championship. And that makes me think we've got no right to be that arrogant. So again, who do we trust that if we get relegated, who are we trusting to build that? All the fans will start internally fighting. If we go down, surely it unites us. Surely if we get relegated, that has to be the moment that unites us and stops all of this back and forth about Conte, Jose, Poch, Ange, Frank, whoever. Surely that unites us. Doesn't it? Does it? I don't know. Does it? But honestly, you'll have players that you'll have players that if they go down will not have experienced anything like the Championship. Big up, Kate. Big up. Feel free to come on if you want. Just chuck me a message. I know you've got a few things going on, but let me know if you fancy coming on, you and Jimbo. They did. They lost 6 points, but let's have a look. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at this table. So this is the Championship table, right? So there's the Championship table. Hopefully that come up. Let me make that a bit bigger. So there's the Championship table. Now, if you look at the bottom there, it says that Leicester, hang on, where is it? Leicester City were deducted, was it 6 points? So even with that deduction, Leicester, without that, sorry, so Leicester City, right, deducted 6 points. Even without that, they're 3 points above the relegation zone. So they've just gone. Look at West Brom. Look how they've dropped like a stone. Sheffield United were in the Premier League 2 years ago, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah, we beat them, didn't we? 2-1 in the last minute. But you look at these teams. Look at these games you have to go to. It's relentless. It is relentless. Trips away to Hull, to Derby, to Norwich, trips to Bristol City, trips to Middlesbrough, We're going to be humbled. We're going to be humbled, right? All of those clubs would have said they're too good. Southampton, Coventry all those years ago. Ipswich have been and gone. Derby, Norwich, QPR. Look, we can do all of them, look. Watford, Swansea, Birmingham, Stoke, Sheffield United, Charlton, Blackburn, West Brom, Pompey were a Premier League team. Leicester, Sheffield Wednesday. What makes us think that we're this great club that bounced back? We're not well run. Right now, here you go. I'm going to ask a question. Let's see whether people, let's see, right? Oh, that's not the screen, is it? Is that the screen? That's the screen. If I said to you right now, Spurs and Burnley are going down, who's more equipped and more likely to bounce straight back up? Who you reckon, Burnley or Spurs? Because I look at Burnley and go, they're equipped. They're going to go down, probably keep the nucleus of their squad, They know the market for the Championship. Couple in, couple out, and they'll bounce up. Spurs, we've never been there before. We've never been there before. They know the league. They know that league. You think Wolves, Burnley, these clubs know those leagues. Their directors of football, their players, they know those leagues. They've got the head start. We've got a pamper bunch of players that don't, depending on who stays. Even if we go down and we keep some of the talented youngsters, they don't know that league. They don't know it. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying we won't come up. I'm just saying, who's going to be the person to put that into place? So if you look at Wolves right now, Wolves have almost built ready for next season, haven't they? When you look at the players they're losing, like they already in the summer, in January, what did they do? They sold Strand Larson for big money, and they bought in Adam Armstrong. When you think about it, they knew they were down. Clever planning for the next for next year, isn't it? Adam Armstrong next year, what, 15, 17 Championship goals he'll get? Clever planning. Clever planning. They're ready. They're doing it, aren't they? They're blooding youngsters ready for you know, like that Mane. They're kind of ready for it. Burnley. How many of Burnley's players will go to bigger clubs? With all due respect, right? They'll hit the ground running. Who have we got? Which midfielder, if we go down, we go, he'll run things in the Championship. He knows it. He'll fight. And it's because it seemed so far removed that this could ever happen, which is exactly why we're not set up for it. But now we're all saying, what, Johan Lang is going to sort this out? We're saying the Burnley squad will be decimated, but I bet you most of Burnley's squad stay. I bet they'll lose players. Of course they will, but it won't be anything like ours. But he hasn't done it before, has he? Archie Gray. He was playing right back for Leeds. So no, he hasn't done it before. And this is the problem, right? This is the problem. Is that Archie Gray's level? I don't know. But if you put Archie Gray in central midfield in the Championship, you're going to have to put someone alongside him with some know-how, some experience. You're going to have to. You've got to have leaders. You've got to have men. This is 46 games a season. And Archie Gray is a very lightweight footballer. Now, I think he'd do well next year in the Championship. I do, if you get the right players around him. He won't be in the Championship, mate. Richie won't be in the Championship. He's going to get his move to he's going to get his move to, I don't know, America or Saudi or wherever. He's going to get his move. You know, Solanke is the one, if you could keep him, Solanke will probably get you 20, 25 goals in the Championship. Is he going to want a year at that age in the Championship? I don't know. That's why it is so important we stay up. And again, I'll caveat, me thinking we stay up versus wanting to stay up are very different things. We cannot go down, but I think we are. If we go down, we dust ourselves off. It's happened. As fans, we can't change it. We go again. But if they do, then I think, like people are saying, I think they need to use it as the reset. They need to. Get rid of everybody. Start again. Use this as a reset. Not, oh, let's keep so many players that we just got the same, we've got the same nucleus of players in the champion. Reset. And unfortunately, we've been in free fall for many years. Many years. We don't want to admit it, but we have, right? We don't want to admit it. But 38 defeats from the last 70 league games. 38 defeats from the last 70 league games. People going, we don't deserve it. Well, we kind of do. Not us, not fans. When you lose 38 games in 70, at what stage are you saying, yeah, we're not good? At what stage are you going, yeah, we're not good? Mick, I'd love to be proven wrong. But it wasn't, was it? But it wasn't. For a reset, you need to revamp the squad. Can't just change manager. You've got to revamp the squad. And we didn't. Paul, this is what I said in the summer. Yes, I wanted Frank. But no, I didn't want to keep the nucleus of last year's squad and only replace injured players. We need a reset. And whether that's in the Championship, whether that's in the Premier League, we have got to revamp this squad from top to bottom. These bad eggs have to get out. These poor players need to leave. I want to fall in love with Tottenham again. I want to enjoy Tottenham again. I've not enjoyed Tottenham for years and years and years. No, but sure. But you've got to start the reset. We didn't. We sold like 2 first-team players last summer and just replaced some injured ones. That's not the beginning of a reset. The beginning of a reset is, right, 7 or 8 out, 7 or 8 in. Let's go. Let's start getting rid of the Romeros, get rid of the Basumas and the Richarlisons and the Sars and but we haven't, at no point. At no point have we attempted a reset. People always go to me, gutted, you wanted Frank. Yes, I did. At no point did I say, I want Frank and I want last year's team to go with it. Hey, I would love a reset in the Premier League. I would love a reset in the Premier League. I just don't think it's going to happen. Last year, we finished 17th. That should have been a wake-up call. This is where Stell is right. Should have been a wake-up call. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Even for the fans, it wasn't. Even for the fans that excused losing every week. It's okay, we won the Europa League. Some of us were going, oh, I'm not sure. I'm worried. This is worrying. But no, we're back here again this year. And still people not realising how bad the squad is. And I think this is a great point. There's a lot of players that won't financially be viable in the Championship. And unfortunately, you're going to, right. Unfortunately, people like Finn Azaz, Adam Armstrong, these are the type of players that are going to get you out of the Championship. And who's looking at that? Has anyone started their homework on the Championship? Or are we just being arrogant and saying we're staying up? Now, if we stay up, I expect massive overhauls. I expect it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. You can't keep going into every year with the same players that are in this mindset. The losing has become so indoctrinated into this squad. Losing has become secondhand to the fans and the players and the club. We just keep losing and people go, oh, it's okay, next week's the must-win game. Next week's the must-win game. Next week's the 14 games. We lost 22 last year. How many have we lost this year? 16? Let's have a look. So we've lost 16 this year. We lost 22 last year. Just losing. Starts to become second nature, doesn't it? It's all right, losing. Same reason most people don't check their lottery numbers after the lottery. You're used to not winning it, right? It's losing. Losing. But it's okay. We won the Europa League. Just be happy. I get people coming and go, Savva didn't like winning the Europa League. Savva did. But Savva also said, like many of you said, this is papering over cracks. This club is a mess. Yeah, but we're European champions. Yeah, but we're a mess. Doesn't matter. We're European champions. Okay. All right, cool. Now, 9-10 months later, we're back to where we were last year with one difference. Last year, the bottom three had gone by this point. This year, not as bad, is it? So, you know, I'm bound to say this because I'm me, but I don't think I come on here every day and say anything outrageous. I don't think I'm coming on here and saying things that are mad. I don't think I'm being overreactive. I'm looking at where we are and the reality of what Tottenham Hotspur are. I think we've got a lot of excuses. We've got refs as an excuse, pundits, pitches, this, that, the state. I just don't think we've bought well. I don't think we've structured anything. And they've had 25 years to put this in place. But there's no football people, is there? There's no football people. There's no football people at this club to change it. See, and again, look, you get this. You get this. So negative. Cool. Tell you what, let's all sit and wait. NSA, give us 3 positives at the moment, please. Actually, I'll tell you what, give me one. Give me one positive at the moment. Near. Why? I'm not going to give you my address. And this is it, Gus. People don't want the reality. Because you know what? Do you know what? The reality isn't good content. I've realized reality isn't good content. The reality is, whoever said X, Y, Z, whoever's been right or wrong, the reality is we are where we are. Right? Like I see this all the time. People don't want to be proven wrong. People love to be right. None of that matters. I said this, you said this, we said that, they said, none of it matters. We are where we are. The reality is we're a mess. The reality is we were 17th last year. We're 18th this year. And the reality is none of us can change that with words. The reality is Kate's here. There's a reality. Hello.
Hello.
How
Thought
we
I'd
doing?
bring some sunshine to the stream today because it's all quite doom and gloom at the minute. Let's be fair. There's not much to be that happy about as a Spurs fan at the moment.
Kate, give me a positive. I'm being called negative. Give me a positive. Give me a positive.
Well, I can give you 2 positives, right?
Oh.
The first positive is if we go to the Championship, we might actually see some wins. Yay. And the second positive, everyone will have to come up to Lincoln for Lincoln away, ole. So there you go. There's 2 big positives. You're welcome.
Do you know what, Kate? The funny thing is, right? So my uncle, been Spurs fan all his life, but his real love is Dartford, right? Dartford FC. And yeah. And he always says to me, he says, whenever we go up into the conference, he said, we lose every week. He said, we lose and lose. He said, I'd rather be in the league below where we win every week. And I'm like, so you want to win enough to be happy, but not to go up so that you lose again every week.
Do you know what, Savva, though? I listened to you and you said, I just want to fall in love with Spurs again. And that's kind of how I feel. I dread match days. I don't want to dread match days anymore. I want to look forward to watching my team play. And we're clearly not good enough to be competing in the Premier League. So I don't want to go down, not by any stretch of the imagination. But if we do go down, we got to try and see the positives in that, which is, like I say, hopefully we'll get some wins. Hopefully Lang and Vinay will go and there'll be some sort of restructure. Who knows? But as someone just said, regression is progression in progress.
The last two words sum it up. Who knows, right? And I think this is the thing for me, right? Like, and as a YouTuber, I love it. When you're a YouTuber, it's almost like you're not a real fan. In people's minds, it's almost like, I hear this all the time. You want us to lose because you make more money on match day. I'm like, you do realize I'm a Spurs fan. Like, you do realize, first and foremost, I'm a Spurs fan. Second of all, this myth that if we go down, it's good for YouTubers. I think Spurs YouTube cuts in half if we go down, because West Ham fans, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool, all these fans that goad us and watch our content when we lose, they're not going to come in match day when we've just beaten Preston 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to give a shit that I don't know who's going to be our striker next year. I don't know, that Will Lancashire scored a last minute winner. I don't know. So all of these myths, you know, that when people aren't real fans. Yeah, I love this. I like this. Is my new favorite troll of the day. Hard to believe it sometimes. Savva, peddling your doom. NSA, what I like about you, right, is you've said everything I've said and packaged it as a positive. Ready? Look at this. This was your answer to me about the positives. Here we go. Right, listen to this. Where is it? Where is it? Right, here we go. If we go down, we get a chance to reset. I'm pretty sure I just said that. Archie Gray will be the best player of the championship. I mean, if that's your positive you're taking from this season, then I'm a bit worried.
Yeah.
3, our fans get their cake and eat it. Kate, I don't quite get the last two, but the first one is kind of what I said, right? I don't get it. Hey.
Yeah, I don't watch as much as the championship as I used to, but I'm not sure Archie Gray will be the best player. And I always get my cake and I always eat it. So, you know, I like cake. So that's just how it is.
Do you know what's hilarious, right? It's so funny, right? Because these are the people, by the way, people like this. I don't know who this is. No name, no picture. I don't know. You could probably walk past them in the street a million times a year. Right? What makes me laugh is, those same people have been saying the same things to me all year, right? Everything these guys and girls have said, none of it has come true. Every time they tell me, be positive, we're winning that game, be positive, this player's great. None of it has come true. They are seeing us in the relegation zone with 5-6 tough games to go and still saying it's negative to say the reality, right? And Kate, I will never understand YouTube from that perspective. And I know if we spoke offline, you'd say, come on, Savva, you know what it's like. But I'm baffled. I'm just genuinely baffled with those sort of fans. You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. Jim and I, Jim's made me probably more deluded than I used to be, although I'm still whole levels of delusion behind bless Jimbo, who thinks,
of course,
when we still had, I think we had 9 games left or 10 games, he thought we were going to get 26 points. Bless him. But I do try and look at the positives, just simply because football for me isn't my whole life. It's just something I enjoy. So I try and look at the positives. And part of me thinks, you know, once we get all the banter out of the way, which at 48 nearly I can take. I've had banter all my life being a Spurs fan, so I can take it. It could be an exciting chapter. It could be an absolute disaster. I mean, we could struggle our asses off in the championship and end up being there for years. But I'm choosing to believe, if, you know, it's in the hands of the gods, if we go down, I'm going to embrace the championship. And, you know, I used to love going to Charlton every week. It was, I loved it as much as I love going to Spurs. You know, I loved going to the Valley, and I'm just going to embrace the championship and see what happens.
Well, do you know what I said? Lubo and I went to the Orient last night, and as much as it was an awful game of football, right? It was so bad, but it felt real. Like it felt real. Do you know what I mean? Like the passion from the fans, that, you know, every decision that goes against them, there's no VAR, so everyone loses their mind. You know, the ref, you know, don't know what you're doing for the whole 90 minutes. But I think the interesting thing for me, Kate, is like you said, I want to enjoy it again. And that doesn't mean that I think Spurs are going to win every week. But I want to go into the weekend games going, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. And right now, with the squad we put together, with all the shit that's happened over the last few years, I don't think there's anything enjoyable about it, to be honest. I feel like at the moment, it feels like, you know, when you have your, I don't know, like when you're at work and you have your weekly one-to-one meeting, you're, oh shit, I've got to do that this week. It kind of feels like it's that. It's inevitable. Let's get it out of the way and move on. That's a bad place to be, right? It's a real bad place.
It's shocking. It is shocking. I mean, we got offered tickets this year for 3 or 4 games, but we didn't go to any of them, which doesn't normally happen. We normally grab tickets when they come up. But yeah, look, there is still 6 games left. There is still a chance we stay up. I just don't see it. And what worries me is, I said to Jim, if we do stay up, it worries me that we're going to see the same season repeated next year, because they'd be like, phew, lucky escape, put in a couple of kids, you know. I don't know whether we're better off having a complete reset. I don't know. My mind's baffled with it. I never expected to be in this position, really.
It's mad, though. Like, as you said, 17th last year should have been an eye-opener. That should have been. And this is, you know, I don't want relegation, but I get when people say if we go down, we'll get a reset, but be careful of the reset you wish for. But it's almost like, I summed it up the other day to someone, and I don't know if this is a good analogy or not, but remember A Christmas Carol, right? Remember A Christmas Carol. And Scrooge was shown the future, wasn't he? Scrooge was shown the future as to, if you continue your diabolical behavior, Scrooge, this is what happens to you in the world, and you're left alone. No one loves you. Spurs had that vision last year of 17th, 22 defeats, lots of injuries. Guys, let's address this. And we didn't. And now we're sitting here a year later and people are scratching their head, Kate. People are going on to Sky Sports and Talk Sport going, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, we didn't change anything from the shit show last year. So what are we expecting, you know? So look, I'm with you. There are 6 games. Wolfie always says to me, you'll probably get a win when you least expect it, as opposed to the ones you expect. But let me ask you, Brighton, they're the most informed team in the Premier League. 5 out of 6 wins. They're fighting for Europe. They're fighting, if I'm not wrong, they're fighting for Europa League. Let's have a look at the top of the table. They're fighting for, there we go. They're 2 points off Europa League in 6th. Do you see us beating Brighton? Do you see a way in which we do beat
them? Look, in my deluded head, yes, I do. Because it's a game we're not expected to win. I do, but I really thought, even under Igor Tudor, I had this mad feeling that we were going to beat Sunderland. I just don't know what it was, but we didn't. It was a disgrace. But I just look, and I look at, you know, Jim and I went through a stage years ago where the recession hit and we lost everything. We lost our house, we lost our business, we had nothing. And I remember ringing my gramps up and I was crying my eyes out, and he went, Kate, the thing about luck is it always got to change. There's always something around the corner, and Jim's always told me that. So luck has to change eventually, and everything is going against us. So maybe we'll get a dodgy own goal or a dodgy penalty at some point, and I've just got a feeling it's going to come this weekend. I think we're going to get something out of the Brighton game.
I bloody hope you're right. I'll tell you what I said. I said to Lubo last night. I said, the problem we've got is, if you are Hurtzler, you are going into that changing room before the game and going, guys, this is Spurs. They're a mess. They haven't won for 14 games. You've won 5 out of the last 6. Go out there, attack them from the off, grab the first goal, and this place is going to descend into chaos. And he wouldn't be wrong, right? He wouldn't be wrong. And I feel sad that I'm talking about Spurs like this, but that's exactly what I'd say. It's Spurs. Go.
Yeah. Look, I think De Zerbi's got to play. I think last time I was on it with you, Savva, we talked about how everyone was moaning how defensive it was when we had Polina and Gallagher. He's got to play to try and keep them out and us nick a first goal. However we do it, he's got to try and do that, because we know as soon as we concede, the heads drop, panic sets in, whatever. But look, like I say, I think luck's. I know luck isn't the reason we're in 18th place. And I've seen people say, I'm not an idiot, I know that. But at the same time, everything is going against our luck. You know, De Zerbi comes in, Kudos ends up with a longer injury. We lose Romero. I'm not sure that's bad luck anyway, because he gets on my nerves. I'd much rather see Danso in the squad, because I think he gives more of himself. Yeah. I just think something good's got to happen. We've had such a torrid season. But it is also, you look at the times that we've sat and watched relegation fodder teams and gone, oh my God, talk about everything going against you. I don't know. For me personally, if we don't get a win at Brighton, there'd be no change in my mind. I'll be convinced then that it's done.
I completely agree with you. This game against Brighton for me is very much, all right, negative Savva who thinks we're down. Cool. This is the game where show me that I'm wrong, and I'm listen. I want to be wrong more than anything. This is one of those ones where, God, please be wrong. But I can't see us beating Brighton, and I can't see us staying up, because when we look at the league table, sorry everyone, I know. I'm so sorry. When we look at this league table, let me blow that up a little bit. So I'm just going to remove your face for 1 second, Kate. Apologies.
Blow it up and explode it completely.
when we're looking at this, right, you've got Nottingham Forest, who are playing let me get this right. Nottingham Forest, Burnley at home, right, on the weekend. Yeah. Now, I think Forest are going to win that, right? I don't know I think Forest are going to win that, and I think they will win it convincingly. If they win that, they go on to 36. Leeds have Wolves at Elland Road. Elland Road's a tough place to go, right? If they win that, they're 9 points clear. Tottenham could start that game 6 and 9 points respectively behind Leeds and Forest, right? Mm-hmm. Now, without being negative, I don't see from that position that we have got anything about us to go, you know what? We've got 2 wins here, let alone 3.
Yeah.
I'm truly worried, Kate. Truly.
I really thought Leeds, I never thought they'd get dragged into it, but I did think it would be really close between Forest and Spurs, right, sort of up till late in the season. But they've just got something about them where they've got the bit between their teeth. Their players are up for the fight. Yeah, look, Jimbo, he's trying to be positive, bless him.
Sorry, Jim, you've probably said that for the last 14 games, right?
14 years.
Right. 15th time lucky, Jim. Do you know what? Listen, I'm all for the positive stance, but I need something to make me see the positive. And unfortunately, listen, if we had lost to Sunderland, but had played really well, and you had seen some sort of attacking and their keepers making save after save, I'd go, all right. But I watched the second half performance against Sunderland where I went, this is diabolical. Like, this is, we never looked like scoring. We never, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go, Kate. Remember the old days when you'd kitchen sink, you'd throw centre halves up front and launch. I'm seeing nothing from them. So, sorry, Jimbo.
I'm gonna get pelters for this, but I don't care because I'm used to it. But when that team came out, we were doing the pump up on We Are Tottenham TV, and so many in the chat went, "Oh my God, this is a disgrace." Xavi should have started, and I said, well, I wouldn't have started Xavi. I think he's a luxury player. I don't think he works hard enough to start that game. So I said, what I assume De Zerbi's going to do is put out this attacking team and just go full gung-ho first half and try and nick a goal, and then tighten it up at the back and maybe bring Xavi on. But it didn't happen. It ended up being, Bergvall and Gray was, I said brave, but on the flip side, it's stupid, really. But
yeah. See,
let's
talk about that. That's a nice segue. That's a lovely segue, Kate. The Xavi Simmons debate, right? Now, this is a nice segue. And I'm sitting in the stands last night. I'm watching Orient play. By the way, I had a 5-team ACCA last night, right? For 850 quid. And 4 of the teams went 2-0 up by half time. So they were all in. And my 5th team was Leyton Orient. And I'm sitting there going to Lubo, I just need a goal. I just need a goal from anywhere. Fucking Leyton Orient. Anyway, I'm sitting there and Lubo goes, have you seen this? And he shows me this, right? He shows me this. And for all those that say Xavi Simmons shouldn't start and he's a luxury player and he's not ready for a relegation battle, this is not a coincidence. That of the 12 games we've won, Xavi Simmons has started 11 of them. The only one he didn't start was because he was banned, right?
How many of them are European games?
It'll be, how many league games have we got? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
See, I do think he's better in Europe because I think it's less physical.
But Kate, let me ask you this. I want to ask you this. This is the question I wanted to ask you off the back of this, right? For all those saying Xavi isn't that type of player for a relegation battle, can anyone tell me in the last 14 games then what has worked? What is there to, at this stage, this is your only creative footballer in the entire club, right? Maddison and Kulu, the other two, who are both injured. This is your only creative footballer. I'm not saying he's had a great year. I'm not saying, oh my God, this is our saviour. But if you're going into games and you're not even playing the one creative footballer you've got that's got the most assists this year other than Kudus, how are we scoring goals?
I do wonder, though, because other managers have overlooked him as well. You know, is there something we don't see? Has he got a bad attitude? Is he crap in training? I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like him. I was pleased when we signed him, and he's been a slow starter, and I think he needs to muscle up a bit for the Premier League, although we might not be there and he might not be here. But, you know, De Zerbi tried it without him and it clearly didn't work. So he's got to start him on Saturday. I don't think he's got a choice.
But playing devil's advocate, and this is what I was doing last night with Lubo, right? Playing devil's advocate, the problem is when people say that, and I agree, there must be something wrong with him. 3 managers in a row haven't started him. 3 managers in a row all can't win games.
Yeah.
So we're like, I get it. If we had dropped Xavi Simmons, right? If we had dropped him and you go, there you go, we've been starting, I don't know, Gray, Bergvall and Gallagher. And you know what? We picked up 2 wins in the last 10. You'd go, all right, they're justified. But we're not starting him and we're not winning games. Now, Kate, please, I need people in the chat to be really clear. I'm not saying start Xavi, we win 6 games in a row. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is he is capable of that one moment. He is capable of dropping the shoulder, going past the midfielder and laying someone in. That midfield 3 he started against Sunderland. Look, with Bergvall, who's the one who played furthest forward, I think he's, listen, I get Pelt says, I don't rate the kid at all. I
think he's gone backwards. I think he's gone massively. I was so, I was one of these who got told I overhype him, which I probably did, but that's me. I'm a woman. I get excited and I'm, these are my emotions. And I just go, oh my God, I think this guy's going to be brilliant. But I think he's gone backwards. I don't really see anything from him anymore. He just looks average.
As I've said lately, the way I've been going, I've been speaking to my uncle a lot about this, and he's drummed this into me lately. See, we see with our eyes, the stats tell one story and the data tells another story. And people, there's a big difference between the data and the stats, right? Now, when I look at somebody like Bergvall, and this is the last 2 years, by the way, this isn't just this season, right? I look and go, he doesn't assist, he doesn't score, he doesn't create. His passing stats are dreadful. His tackling stats are dreadful, right? But he carries the ball well, but with no end product. So I look at that and go, right, so your stats are bad. My eyes are telling me you don't do anything. And the data shows me what my eyes have shown me. So to play him over Xavi Simmons, I have to sit there and go, like you said, what's happened in training, right? What do you think that Bergval's going to offer you in the 10 that Xavi Simmons isn't, even though Xavi Simmons has created the most chances at Tottenham Hotspur this season? That's what I can't get to grips with, Kate. And it's not, please, listen, Xavi Simmons, like the rest of them this year, has had a poor year, right? I think next year, if we stay up, is going to be the year where you go, right, Xavi, no excuses now. But he's been no better or worse than anyone else, and yet seems to be the fall guy when we need creativity. I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's been a couple of times, like you say, where he's done something and you've gone, well, oh, this is what we've been waiting to see. And when he's not on the pitch, you don't get that from anyone. I mean, I've always really criticised Richarlison, but then I was like, well, we're in a relegation battle. We need Richarlison. He works hard. He's got it in him to pull something out the bag. But even he looks I don't know if it can't surely all be confidence. I don't know if they've lost confidence in the club as well, because they're getting, I don't think the players were happy that Ange got sacked. I'm going to say that. I think from Van der Ven's interview, you could see that he wasn't. They went from Ange that was completely, attacking, to Frank, who was a lot more pragmatic. Don't think the players ever bought into that. Now, don't get me wrong, they should have to buy into whatever's in front of them, but we seem to have a bunch of egotistical, prima donnas for the most part. But I don't think they ever bought into Frank. Then they bring in Tudor, who it's absolutely baffling decision, but there you go. They never bought into that. Now they've bought in De Zerbi, and I think the players, I think they've already down tools and said it's too late, and they just want out. I really believe the majority of them players just want out. Now, I'm not saying Xavi's that guy, not at all, but I just find it really strange that so many managers have overlooked him. And we had this with Spence, didn't we, for a while? Yeah. Conte didn't play Spence, and everyone said he had a bad attitude. To me, Xavi always looks like he's going to cry, whether we win or lose. He just looks like a child.
He does. He's got that face, isn't he?
He has, that's going to cry. Right. And we seem to have, I said this the other day on Sean's, we seem to have such a soft underbelly from the top to the bottom. Even like when decisions go against us, our manager or anyone above the manager never kicks off and goes, we're going to contact the PGMOL, this is a disgrace. Everything is just, oh yeah, we'll just accept it. Oh, we'll just accept that this player's not very good. And everything's just so, yes, it's soft. There's no fight in Spurs anymore. There's no leaders. Yeah. There's no, like you say, there's no real men. There's no big guys. Dembele no one could muscle Dembele off a ball. We've got nobody like that. It's just, I don't know how we've gone from 10 years ago having that season under Poch with all those wonderful players to just having this mishmash of average, poor players. We haven't got any, I don't think we've got any good players. We've got average and we've got poor. I think Danso, I like him mainly because he's an old school centre-back, and I think he gives it all. I don't see there being any good players. People raved about Van der Ven. Apart from his pace, I don't think he's that good a defender as it is. Romero's a bozo. It's so sad. I've supported this club. I went to my first game 42 years ago, roughly. And I just look at this squad and it breaks my heart because I don't recognise my team anymore. Anything about Spurs.
I don't recognise it. I don't recognise it. I mean, look, I've just been having a look, and I get what people are saying about Xavi Simmons, but also, can we ignore that? Like, can you ignore that of the 12 wins, the only one he didn't play in was because he was suspended? It wasn't even like he was dropped or on the bench or anything. And I just don't feel that as a club we're in a position right now to be going, mate, you've not played well, just sit on the bench and see what happens. Yeah. You can't bring him on with 4 minutes to go and expect something to happen, right?
No.
And the shock for all of this, Kate, was I think his best performance of the season was against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that's the last start he's had. And I'm like, this don't make sense to me. And look, I've just been looking. I mean, Bergval has played 46 Premier League games for Spurs, right? 46. And has got 1 goal. So, listen, he's young. Sure, Dele Alli was 18 when he joined in the first team, and I remember that boy seemed to know how to put the ball in the net. but he's got 3 assists and 1 goal in 2 Premier League seasons. Now, maybe, just maybe, maybe he's not that guy. Maybe he's not the goal scorer creative player. I've got no problem with that. But if you're not, then don't be the number 10. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Not saying, not his fault. If he is not that creative goal scorer, then don't put him as a number 10, right? That's Premier League. I then look at the Cups, right? If we go further in the Cups, he's played 8 Cup games, not Europe, 8 Cup games for Spurs. And he's got 1 assist and 1 goal in 8 Cup games, right? Now, I think if I'm not wrong, I think the goal was against Liverpool, if I'm not wrong. Didn't we beat Liverpool 1-0 at home in the first leg of the semi-final? Mm-hmm. And the assist was this year in the EFL Cup. So who did we even play in the EFL Cup? Doncaster? Newcastle?
Yeah, I can't even remember.
He's got an assist, right? And then in Europe, right? For Spurs in Europe, he's played 20 games in Europe for Spurs and got no goals and no assists, right? So that's 20. So hang on, it's 46 league games plus 20 European games. That's 66 plus the 8 cup games. That's 74 games, right? And he's got 2 goals and 3 assists. Now, if that is what we're saying, go and save us from relegation by playing in the number 10, then I see what I have to caveat loads, Kate. I'm so sorry. I'm aware how annoying it is because people were. Then I can see why we're going down. I'm not blaming Bergvall, but if that is, but dude, listen, dude. Sorry to say this, you've got to understand. Locatelli's a deep lying playmaker. Locatelli's not a forward-thinking midfielder. Locatelli, by the way, runs games of football. Bergvall doesn't. This sort of comment really makes me worry when I shouldn't have even bought. I'm disappointed in you for saying it, and I'm disappointed in me for bringing this up. If that is your go-to, Locatelli versus Bergvall. Locatelli, by the way, is absolutely fucking brilliant. Anyway, Kate, so you've got Xavi Simmons not getting a game. And then, Kate, and I'm going to blame you for this just because you're on with me. I'm blaming you for this. You've got João Paulinho, right, who's got the most tackles in the Premier League. By the way, Garner, Anderson, Gomez, Truffet, Mitchell, Fernandez play every week. Mm-hmm. He's got more tackles than any of those players. He's played 59% of our games. We're in a relegation battle where you need men who fight and tackle and work hard. And no bloody manager starting him either. And from an outside view, sorry for the rant, from an outside view, I look and go, right, you're not playing your playmaker and you're not playing your DM. Then you deserve to go down. I feel like we're bringing this on ourselves. Rant over. Sorry, Kate.
What I would say is, the Paulinho thing is baffling because when he started, at the start of the season, we was all going, this guy, we've got to sign this guy. He's been brilliant and he's solid and he's experienced and that's exactly what we need at the minute. So that thing is baffling. As well, De Zerbi, I think when we all, when he was signed, everyone was like, right, which players are going to benefit from De Zerbi? And I think the first one every single person said was Xavi. So he, for me, I would have thought would be the first name on the team sheet for De Zerbi because he is a De Zerbi-like player. So it was completely crazy that he didn't get any, like you say, I think he come off for 4 minutes, which I don't know what they expect him to do in that time. But he seems to prefer Gallagher over Paulinho. Now, Gallagher, and Paulinho, and he scored a few goals at the start of the season as well. I forgot that. Gallagher's a weird one, right? Because I never wanted Gallagher, but then when he came, he had that one really good game, and I kind of bought into this guy, and I thought, I think that's exactly what, we've been waiting for. And now he looks like he's dog shit again. But I don't know.
Because they're not being played properly, right? Like
Exactly.
Like, do you know what? Someone, my mate Glenn broke some data down for me the other day, and they said that in Gallagher's 9 starts for Tottenham Hotspur, right, he's played in 5 different formations for 3 different managers, right? He's played in the 8, in the 10. He's played right wing back, right? He's played in the 6. Like, you're looking at all of these things and going, but this isn't just Gallagher. This is all of them. Like, I want to see, what does Conor Gallagher do in a settled team? And you know the reason why I believe in Gallagher? Because I saw what he does in a settled team at Chelsea. I saw what he did in a settled team at Palace. I've seen what he did in a settled team at Atletico Madrid. The problem is, when you drop a player in and go, right, what's your tactics? Oh, we don't really have any. Where am I playing? Oh, just 1 week here, 1 week there. Who's my partner this week? Oh, somebody different. And you go. So for me, I think if we stay in the Premier League next year and we actually get a manager, De Zerbi, that plays a settled 11, because we're playing once a week, you might see the best of, by the way, not just Gallagher, a Bergvall, a Solanke. But right now, we're all over the fucking place. 1 week, Solanke's up top on his own. The next week, it's him and Richie. Next week, it's him, Richie, and Mawani. The next week, Richie's on his own. Then Mawani's right wing. Then Mawani's up top on his own. 1 week, Tell's on the left. Next week, Tell's not playing. 1 week, Xavi's playing. Then he's not. 1 week, Spencer's right back. Then he's left back. 1 week, Porro's right back. Then he's right centre. How on earth do we expect any of these players, bearing in mind I don't rate many of them, how do we expect any of them to provide any form of consistency when they're not given consistency themselves?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, someone just said something interesting in the chat, said maybe Paulinia's got an appearance fee if he makes so many appearances for Spurs and the club don't want to have to pay it, which would make sense for Spurs because that's the sort of thing they do. But someone said something in a chat the other day. I don't know if it was your chat or Sean's or someone's I was watching, and they said we used to cry out for a squad because we had a great first 11. Now we haven't even got a great first 11. And I thought it's so true. And, you know, like you say, we used to be able to predict the team, and nine times out of 10, you'd be right with the team you predict is going to start. Because we haven't invested, for instance, in January, knowing how many injuries we had, we literally can't predict. Oh my God, it's the fraud.
I know. Desperate times. Barry's like our Bergvall. I don't know why I brought him on, but he's there. He's playing. He's in. I don't know what he offers, but here he is.
Apparently, according to everyone else, I just agree with you all the time, Savva. So, you know, there you go.
You know what? Anyone that doesn't actually call me a wanker just gets told they're a Savva puppet. It's absolute. It might not be that I'm correct about something. It's just that, you agree with Savva. Anyway. Sorry, Kate. Go on before. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, but now when you try, you know, if you try and even attempt to predict the team, you know, like if we all predicted Sunderland, I bet nobody had that team that he picked.
No one.
So there's no consistency. And if you haven't got the consistency of playing the same week in, relationships aren't going to develop. There was one game, I think it was Atletico Madrid, where Tell and Simmons looked like they were getting a really nice little connection going. But then we haven't seen it since. And
it's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
It's absolutely mad. And look, the reason I put that on the screen is, if I was manager, this is the first thing I'd do on my team sheet at the moment. I'd go, right, what do I need? I need a DM. Paulinho, you've got to play. I need a playmaker, Xavi. Right, boom. Now work around it. Tell has to go in. I don't rate him. I can't be a hypocrite. I don't rate him. But you know what? He's the only left-sided player we've got. I think he's got to go in. Now I can work around my team.
I like Tell. I know that's fine, pelters, but I do like him.
It's fine. People can like Tell. I've got no problem with people liking him, but you know,
yes, I know you don't like him, Nick.
Well, I mean, I know you're Sean's puppet, so that's fine. So we got Savva's puppet and we got Sean's puppet. So
you do realise we're just YouTubers with an opinion, right? Like we're not controlling.
No, Savva. You're a YouTuber with an opinion, with opinions. Me and Kate, Kate's Talk Sport. Kate, get it right, yeah. If we're gonna do things properly, and I'm just here to cause chaos with my.
We've noticed.
You know, with my awful opinions.
How long until someone mentions the colour of your t-shirt? I do like
it's orange, so you know, like Kate's glasses are red, yeah.
Someone said straight away your glasses are red. They're frigging purple.
Yeah. Mine's burnt orange. So
do you know what? Orange. I used to I used to, when I was getting ready for show, when I was getting dressed in the morning, I think I'm streaming, I'd put on a t-shirt and go, oh shit, oh God, it's slightly red. I'll take it off because I'm going to get pelters. And then I thought, oh, fuck off, Savva. You're a fucking grown up. If you want to wear a red t-shirt, wear a red t-shirt. Oh God, not that I've got many. I think I've got a purpley one, but anyway, Barry, Nick, whatever your name is. I don't know what your name is. I don't know. The scouting mission at Leyton Orient was not good. There was no one that was good enough to come into the Spurs team, which is shocking.
Really? Are we sure?
I'll tell you what. There was one good centre half for Orient, and his name's Happy. His surname is Happy.
How old is he?
About 26, so probably
too old, Too old, mate. Too old.
And the guy who got man of the match in central midfield for Orient was quite good. Anyway, Xavi Simmons for you, Barry.
Yeah.
This seems to be a massive talking point. My only thing with all of this is, if we were winning games without Xavi, I would absolutely go fine. But now 3 managers in a row aren't playing him. 3 managers in a row aren't winning games. At what point do we have to go, maybe 3 managers in a row are getting it wrong? Just a talking point. Yeah,
look. I mean, I think it's we don't have any creativity. I think that's been abundantly clear from the last God knows how long. We don't need to just use the last, we don't need to use a Tudor or a Frank or anything else. I think we can, I think we can see that we're crying out for something. We thought it was, we thought Kudus was coming back, and then that might, maybe not, the past game or the next couple of games, he would have an impact, or he'd do what they did yesterday with Isak and play 45 minutes. I mean, he looked horrible yesterday, but that's another story. But yeah, so we haven't had any great
stats, Nick. He had 5 touches in the first half. Yeah, and 2 passes.
yeah. And the weird thing was, Slot came out before the game and said, "Oh, he's only going to play 45 minutes." Well, wait to let PSG know what you're doing, mate.
Yeah.
But look, I think we're crying out for creativity. I think we've seen this. There was that stat, I saw that last night. 11 out of 12 games, 5 of them in the league. Look, we've got 6 games left, so look, I'm not for one moment going to say we're going to win 5 out of 6. I mean, Jimbo probably still is, but
of course.
Hang on, Nick, just quickly, am I right in saying of the 7 league games we've won, he's played 5 of them? Yeah. Am I right in saying one of them he wasn't even a Tottenham player? If I'm right, the first game of the season against Burnley, we hadn't signed him yet, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And the other win that he missed was Palace because he was suspended.
Yeah.
Right. So
5 out of 5 then. Is that what we're doing? 5 out of 5, 100%.
5 out of 5 league wins he's played in. So
do we get a trophy for that?
Yes, we're Spurs. We should get a trophy.
And we're going to release a DVD, Kate, as well. But look, I just think
he can win a mic. I've got a spare mic just laying around the house. If anyone wants a spare mic,
nothing has worked, right? But look, nothing has worked. We've not won a lot of games of football. We've not won. We've not. It's just been horrendous, right? And yes, I agree with Kate. So for all those people that want to say on the next show that I'm on that I was agreeing with Kate, because that's what some people like to do, that the way that we set up and the way that the other teams set up in Europe suits Xavi Simmons, right? I think we can all say that, because his best games, arguably in the Tottenham shirt, have been when it's been in the Champions League, right? Regardless of whether the game was done or not done or everything else. So for me, I think we have to do what Kate said, is we have to go all out attack against Brighton and just go for it. Now, I'm not saying guys, let's play on the halfway line and play high line for life and play all hands, right? But let's just see, please, just something, because I sat there the other day, got absolutely cooked by every fan alive. We're all getting cooked everywhere we go. We can't say anything. We can't even really say, oh, well, Arsenal are out the FA Cup. Arsenal are bottling it. No. We're not even getting away with anything. We can't say anything at the moment. I just want to have some positivity or some encouragement where we go, do you know what? We lost to Brighton 2-1, but bloody hell, didn't we give it a good go? And didn't we show that, this is what we could do if we actually try and go for a game of football rather than sitting back? Because you know what's going to happen on Saturday night. It's going to be timid. The fans are going to be nervous. There's no Romero, which I don't actually think is an issue. With his crocodile tears, he can bugger off with his crocodile tears. Then it's going to be 5-10 minutes. Brighton score the first goal. We've never come back when we conceded a goal first, right? So it isn't going to start happening now. Then the fans are going to turn. Then the stadium's going to empty. Then the players are going to try. Then we're going to blame the weather, then the ref, then the temperature and everything else. So we as much as, Gallagher has been shocking as well since he's arrived, and that could be for a number of reasons. We need to go with the best 11 with the most experience in their positions that are going to get something out of this game. I just don't see, if we look at what happened, that game on Sunday was we've seen some shockers, but that was probably the worst. It was so boring. I didn't even know we were even playing football, and we wouldn't have scored. Even if Sunderland weren't on the pitch, I don't think we would have scored. That's how bad it was.
Well, do you know the funny thing for me, Barry, is we've not been good. We know we've not been good. You said it there. This isn't a rallying cry for, oh my God, how hard done by Xavi Simmons.
Yeah.
This isn't a if he plays, suddenly we win games. But I think it's what you said at the end there. It's giving yourself the best possible chance. I don't think there's anyone, I'll be honest, anyone this year that I turn around and go, that player gets a pass for me because I think they had a good year. I don't think any of them have. There's a reason we're bottom three, right? Because we haven't had players playing well. But surely in a relegation battle, and I know we're not used to them, surely in a relegation battle, you want your Paulinhas, right, that have played for Bayern Munich's, right? Played at big. You want your Xavi Simmons, who has been at PSG, at Barcelona, played for RB Leipzig, plays for Holland. Surely you want these players, not 19-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids that have got no experience. It's not fair on them. It's, Kate said it when that lineup was announced. I think we all looked and went, oh, the day before I did a short. I was like, come on, I'm going to be positive. 3-1 Spurs. And I said, this is a delusional take, but I've got to believe that we're going to win a game. The moment that lineup was announced, I looked and everyone in my chat saw me go, well, this is not good. This is Forest all over again, right? And what annoyed me even more, Nick, was that we all saw that first half. It didn't work. And you're thinking, come on, De Zerbi, like half-time, mix this up. Get Tell out on that left, Simmons in the middle. Let's get rid of this front three. And he starts the exact same team in the second half. And you kind of knew a 1-0 was coming, didn't you? Or am I just being completely
I think you're right, Sam. I think we did. I think we all know how the games are going to go, right? Because even when we get to half time, we think, we're not thinking, we could have scored. We're like, crap, thank God we're not 1-0 down or 2-0 down or anything else. And you could just tell that it was coming, and it was the pressure and everything else. And I think it'll be the same. It'll be the same for against Brighton. What is it? Matoma hasn't scored in how many games? Dr. Tottenham, hello. Matoma hasn't been great, so he's going to turn up. Danny Welbeck, Arsenal connections. He's going to have a blinder. I just think that we've got to, whatever we think is the best. If you want to play Gray, then you can play Gray, but then we have to change something else to make sure that Gallagher, Paulinho, and Simmons are playing right. Now, I actually think that we would probably be better playing 3 at the back because it gives us a little bit more protection not what, 4 at the back's not working, 5 at the back's not working. I think obviously you're going to have Danso, you're going to have Van der Ven starting. And I'm not saying that he's the answer, but Dragashin in defence rather than a Porro that can't defend and an Udogie who I don't even know what he does or what he's supposed to do. So if that means we're playing 3 at the back, and that means Porro and Udogie can be the ones that go up, and then you've got a Paulinho and Gray that sits, and a Simmons and Gallagher that fire up to whoever's up. I don't know. I don't know if it's the answer. I don't have the answers, but it doesn't. I'm sure that it doesn't look like Tottenham have any answers. So we need to do something that gives us the best chance of getting a result, and whether that's a draw, because bearing in mind we haven't won for 14 games or whatever, something stupid, and the draw was against Liverpool or what have you. We've got to do something to at least get a point. If we don't get a point, I think I predicted 2 points from the last 7 games. And we ain't going to be far off that if we carry on what we're doing.
Well, Barry, do you know what I said? By the way, can anyone hear any noise? I'm being told that there's a lot of background noise. I can't hear a thing. For me, it sounds clear. Can anyone let me know if they can hear anything? Barry, when we sacked Frank, everyone did the game, didn't they? Of how many points will Tottenham get? Obviously, Jim predicted 36 out of 36 because that's just the positive kind of chap he is.
I love Jimbo.
Lubo went with 18. Now, I got called negative, standard, Nick. I got called negative. I said we'd get 7, right? Savva, you're negative. You deserve relegation. Well, we're now 6 down and we've got 1, right? We've got 1 point from 18. I'm starting to think that my 7 was too optimistic. How can this be, Kate? How can it be that when we sacked Frank, there were 36 points to play for? 36, and we've won 1. By the way, Thomas Frank, whatever you think of him, had 29 points from 26 games. That averages out just, I think, if I'm not wrong, 42.5 points for a season. We've now got 1 in 18 since, which I don't know what that averages out in a season, right? So
2 points out of 36 games.
it is, isn't it? It's 2 out of 36.
Yeah.
Which is a what? What's that as a percentage?
Shit. The worst Premier League team ever.
Welcome to Maths with Nick. Look, I think there was 13 games left when Frank was sacked. Is that right? Or 12 games?
There was 12 league games. There was loads of points to play for.
Right. That's when Jim predicted 26 points. God bless him.
I love him.
And I think I predicted about 12 to 14. So I was severely optimistic as well. But
it's like you two don't know Tottenham, isn't it? It's like you don't know Spurs.
And we're both older than the average person on YouTube, and yet we're I think maybe we're losing our marbles. That may be what it is.
But you could still get it. Your prediction can still come in, and Jim's can't, right?
Yeah. But look, I don't even know what the question was. I've gone off on a tangent.
It was just about the number of points. Like you sack a manager with 12 games to go, and you're thinking, all right, look, let's be brutally honest. You're thinking to yourself, you've got 12 games. You need 3 wins from that 12 games to keep you up onto 38. That's what you need. You need 3 wins. You need a 25% win record, which is shit, but doable. Right now, since he's gone, we've got a 0% win record. We keep saying something's got to give. You said it earlier in the show. Luck has to change. Is there a possibility that we go right the way through without winning another game?
Yes.
Easily, yeah. When you watch us, I mean, when you watch that game against Sunderland, it was abysmal. I agree with Nick. I think if there'd have been no other players on the pitch, it'd just been Tottenham, we wouldn't have scored. We didn't have anything going forward. There was no fight. Players are just jogging around the pitch. I mean,
not according to De Zerbi.
I know that's a little bit concerning as well, but we didn't deserve to lose.
We played a good game, and the players gave their best in terms of attitude and spirit. Well, if that's the case,
yeah, we're fucked if that's the case.
Oh.
Look, I'm trying to hang on to something, and I do think we will get at least a point against Brighton, but I just don't know if it's all too little, too late, because I don't see West Ham and Forest dropping that many points, and Leeds for me are safe. I don't think Leeds will get dragged into it. Bless you.
You're right.
Thank you.
Right.
Leeds are 6 clear, and they've got Wolves and Burnley to play at home.
That's what I mean. But
if you're a Leeds fan right now,
yeah, exactly. It could be worse because my cat is sitting looking at me, and he had his nuts off yesterday. So look, in the grand scheme of things, it could be worse.
Yeah, Jim. It could have been you, Jim.
Could have been. Did your cat did the nuts go completely, or was it chemical?
It's where that they leave the little sack, but they take the testicles out. So he's just got a little
chemical castration. Yeah, little Stanley had that, and he had magnificent balls, and now he's just.
So did Archie, and he keeps looking for them, and he's like, I don't know where they are, and I'm like,
so
this is
Nick.
what we're like with a win.
So does Nick. He's looking for them to have a good lick. Guys, just see. Can I tell you what I would do at the weekend? I'm going to show you, and this is only me, and before everyone goes mad, this is what I would do. This is what I would do at the weekend.
Bentancur, is he back?
They've just said on Sky Sports, they've shown a video. He is training today. Now, for as much shit as that man gets, this is a seasoned international pro that's played in World Cups, Champions Leagues. It's I think he's maybe won a title with Juve or maybe not. But like, I still think, and I'm going to preach this to my death. When everyone was crying about that midfield partnership at the beginning of the season, this is when we were at our best. Was when Paulinho and Bentancur played in the middle together. All of these experiments with Gray and Sarr and Bergvall, none of it's worked. This worked. So notice that I've only put 10 men in. Because I just have no idea, guys. I have no idea what I would do on the right. I have no idea what I would do.
Oh, you haven't got a load of options, have you, really?
And that's why
he'll put Moani on the right, won't he? He'll put Moani on the right.
But he's so bad.
I know. But
he'll go down as one of the worst signings in the club.
What's the other option? Put Tell on the right and put Richie on the left? I mean, it's just nonsense.
Actually, I would do... There you go. Actually, yes. Actually, I would rather that.
And then Solanke up the front.
He's been dreadful, Solanke. I mean, he don't look fit either.
And then on the bench, you've got what? Bergvall, Gray,
Sarr, Gallagher, Basu. See, do you know what? If Bentancur's not fit, here you go. If Bentancur's not fit, I'm playing this guy. I'm playing that guy. I'm putting my arm around him and going, I need you to roll back the years here. Because I'm sorry, we could keep talking about the Bergvalls, the Sarrs, and the Greys. They're not as good as the Bentancurs and the Basumas. They're just not. I know we want them to be, but they're not. They're not better than them.
Do you think Spence gets in over Udogie?
Yeah, Udogie was shocking as well the other day. It was absolutely awful. I look at that team and I think, shit. Where do we go?
My only worry with that team is Porro and Udogie. That's my worry. Which is why I would probably.
Sorry, that's your only worry with that team.
No. I mean, there's plenty of worries with that team. But my only worry with the way that you've set it up is Porro and Udogie, which is why I'd play three at the back. And then that eliminates the need to worry about who's going to go on the right, because you put Porro on the right, Udogie on the left as left wing back. Is the other potential option. But then everyone goes, oh, Dragusin's rubbish. They're all rubbish, people. Let's just get it clear. They're all rubbish. It doesn't matter who we're playing. They're all rubbish.
Yeah,
that's the option for me. But probably De Zerbi will probably play 4-3-3 and the same team that played at Sunderland because they had a good attitude and played well.
Kate said. This goes back to what Kate said, right? We don't even have a good 11. So like when we're sitting at the beginning of before games going, what would you do? Who would you play? Guys, just because I put that as an 11, don't think in any way, shape or form that I like that 11. Please don't get it twisted that that's what if I had my way, nine of those players wouldn't be at Tottenham Hotspur if I had my way. I think this is where we're at though. We are an atrocious group of footballers that have been put together with no real look. We're arguing, should it be Paulinho or Gallagher or Basuma or Bentancur or Sarr or Gray or Berg? Like none of them stand out. None of them I go, oh my God, you're Moussa Dembele. Do you know what I mean? None of them stand out. And Kate, you were absolutely right. This is the problem. Years gone by, we've gone, that's our best 11. Now we have no idea.
Yeah. At least we could, like you said, Kate's right. At least we knew we had amazing, arguably the best 11 in the Premier League, but we just didn't have anything, behind it. And Rage Master or whatever your name is, the players are rubbish. Just 3.5 seasons of this is rubbish. Yeah. And to Daniela, I will have to apologise because I did say West Ham were not going to win another game of football. So I do apologise.
You're the problem, Nick.
Yeah. But West Ham, I think, are the only team.
They've got some horrible fixtures at the end, though, right?
They're the only team I think we catch. I think Forest having... Listen, as with anything, this is just an opinion and a prediction, right? I think Forest beat... I keep getting this the wrong way around. I think Forest beat Burnley this weekend. And if they do, that's 6 points on us. I think Leeds beat Wolves. That's 9 points on us. I think then we are looking at... This is now chasing West Ham. Yeah. I think we are now going to be looking at whoever West Ham play and supporting that team each week. Now, I could be wrong. Leeds and Forest might both lose. But Forest look very well organised, don't concede many goals. They're hard to beat, right? And they've got square pegs in square holes. Leeds, I thought they should have battered Man U. Like I thought that Leeds that game should have been 5-0 at half time. They steamrolled them. We don't have it.
And they've also got Forest. What Forest have also got in their fate. Well, look, I guess we want Forest to go through tomorrow against Porto because that helps with extra games, right? But you've seen they've completely changed. You think the team that he's going to put out is the team, and they make about 8 changes for the European games, right? Yeah. So. Yeah. But they've got Chris Wood coming back. And Chris Wood, yes, he's been injured, but he's someone that can get goals. I wouldn't be even surprised if Forest go to Chelsea and beat them in the first game of May. Because that's the type of game that a Chris Wood would, and we know what Chelsea have been like. And then they'll get up for our game, obviously, because it's us. And they'll obviously turn into prime Chelsea from, Mourinho and Conte days.
Well, when you look at the last 4 games, Forest haven't lost. Leeds have lost 1, West Ham have lost 1, and we've lost 3. So when you're looking at these other teams, they are grinding. They are, you look at them, none of them are letting in a lot of goals. They look like teams. But pro WWE, I hate to break it to you, mate, we are now in the stage of relying on other teams. I don't know, this is not just a saying now. We need snookers because if all the other teams, if let's be fair, West Ham just need to match what we do now between now and the end of the season. They just need to match it, and they're definitely safe.
Yeah, and we can't do this. Someone just put it in the comments. We have to. We can't rely on anything else. We have to just focus on what we can do. We can't go, oh well, Chelsea are going to beat Forest and this is going to happen, because if we start thinking, oh, we're going to do this and we'll stay up on goal difference or something stupid, then that's terrible. The good thing is we play before West Ham this weekend, and it's a double game week. So
is that a good thing?
Well, I'd rather that than play behind them every week, knowing exactly what we need to do. Because when we exactly know what we need to do, then that's exactly when these players are going to be like, oh well.
Devil's advocate, just devil's advocate. We lose to Brighton, that G's up West Ham, and they go, hang on, if we win this game, our game in hand, how many points would they go clear of us? 5. If West Ham go 5 clear of us, and Leeds and Forest are 6 and 9 respectively, it's done. It's done, because what we're also looking at, guys, if we bring up this table, right, start looking at the goal difference now. Right? If you start looking at the goal difference, we were miles ahead of Forest and Leeds in goal difference. Now look at it. We're 1 better than Forest, but they could be 6 points clear by the time we play. And Leeds United, if they beat, oh God, why can't I get this right? Wolves. Yeah. Leeds United beat Wolves at Ellen Road. They'll be 9 points clear with a much better goal difference. Honestly, this is not good.
I think after the, not this game, but after the next game, we'll have more of a picture, because at the same time, West Ham play Everton at home and we play Wolves away. And I think that's, and Forest would have played on the Friday night. So that, I think, game week 34, I think that is the week where I think it's done already, but I think we will know 100% by then, because we then go to Villa away. We've got Leeds at home, Chelsea away, then Everton at home. And obviously, if Everton are still in the mix and not on the beach, then we all know what's happening. I think that is going to be the final nail for me.
Everton are going to be right in the mix till the last day for Europe, mate. Unless they have an absolute shocking next 5 games. But you look at Everton.
They're playing. It's the Merseyside derby on Sunday, so they're hunting down Liverpool, and the way that Liverpool are playing and the way that Everton are playing, they know that they know they'll want bragging rights over Liverpool. That's for certain.
The worry about this, I think, let me put that back. If West Ham find one more win in 6, right, just one win in 6 for West Ham, right, which I think you can say they probably will. Might not. We've got to find 2. Suddenly it goes from, we just need to find a win, to, right, we need 2 wins. So we're going to go from no wins in 14 to 2 wins in 6. That's if West Ham just win one more game, by the way. Mm-hmm. That's one more win. If West Ham get 2 more wins, we need 3. This is, I think that every way we look at this right now, that Brighton game, for me, tells us everything. I don't think we need to get 4 games to go, Nick. This weekend's going to tell us everything.
Yeah, and what's the bet in West Ham beat Arsenal as well? So, and gets to the final game of the season, and West Ham and Leeds just sit down for 90 minutes because they just need a draw, both of them, to stay in the Premier League. And no one can sit there, and no one can sit there and say corruption, raise it against something. If we were in the same position, we'd be saying exactly the same thing. Just sit down, pass the ball around, look like you're trying to score, and get a draw, and both stay in the Premier League.
They've got some tricky fixtures, West Ham. Palace away is not easy. Everton, like you say, I know it's at their place. Brentford away is not easy. Arsenal, we don't know what situation will be with the league. Obviously, we don't know what's going to be happening there. Newcastle away is horrible. And then, like you say, West Ham, Leeds. Leeds are a hard team to play against. But, yeah.
Even our fixtures are laughing at us. Look at it. Ha, ha.
Do you know the thing? I think you're right, Kate. See, if you look at Leeds, I think Leeds have got enough there to. I mean, look, they're 6 clear. If they get one more win, we've got to overturn a 9-point gap. Cannot see it. That means we need to win 3 of 6. Can't see it. Forest. I mean, listen, Forest are hard to beat. Don't score many goals, but Burnley at home this weekend is gonna be, for me, the game that decides it. Mm-hmm. West Ham, they are the ones I'm looking at and going, By the way, I don't think we will catch them, but West Ham's the one where I'm going, that's the only one I think we'll catch.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think because I think Forest, you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter what they do, because they could win at Burnley and win at Bournemouth and lose the rest, but I don't think they will lose the rest, because they're just, you know, they're up for it. We know how the momentum that's kind of started, and you know the way they were terribly unlucky to lose against Liverpool, right? I mean, they had so many chances and Liverpool did a smash and grab at the end. But
yeah.
I think you're right. Leeds have got 2 very winnable home games, and the
winnable away game at White Hart Lane.
Yeah. And you know, how often I think actually the last time we played Leeds, we actually went 1-0 down, but then we came back and won 4-1. So, yeah, look, I just, you know, and they're look how much they're on a high. First win at Old Trafford in 45 years. There's no way that Leeds are going to throw this away now. No, absolutely no way. And if they do, then I'll be glad, because it's another team that's in the mix with us. But I just can't see it, you know. But I just, you know, I know Wolfie said there's a surprise result. I don't see us going to Villa. I don't see us going to Chelsea and getting a surprise result. A surprise result would actually be winning at Wolves, because we've not beaten them home and away in 3 years.
A surprise result would be just winning.
Well, yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, surprise result would be 3. What? Win? What?
I forgot what it's like to win a game of football, I swear.
Listen, I see a lot of people saying Chelsea are going to relegate us on the penultimate game. As it stands, I think we're gone before that. That's how bad I think this is. Brighton is everything. The Brighton game is everything. And if we don't win that at home, and I'm not expecting to, and by the way, a point isn't even good enough, right? Like we can't even be at the stage now where we go, it's a good point against a good team. We need wins. And we could end this weekend, by the way, guys, if we have a look at this, right? Let's say, and I'm expecting Forest and Leeds to win, right? If West Ham win, I mean, if they all win, we're going to be 5 points adrift with 5 games to go. That's too much to turn over. That's too much. That's the sort, you're now in the territory of going, right, we need 3 wins. We need 3 wins on the bounce, and I just can't see it. So, look, I think I'm sorry, negative Savva, not a real fan. I think this is one step too far for Spurs, where our arrogance, ignorance, damn right negligence as a football club is going to catch up with us. We had the warning last year. We didn't take heed of that warning. And this is like somebody that gets caught shoplifting, gets a slap on the wrist and community service. Next one, you go to prison, right? What's the first thing they go and do? Let's go and steal again. This is where I think, this is why when I say we deserve it, not we, not us, the fans, the owners deserve it. They've run this club dreadfully.
It literally would not surprise me if Burnley caught up with us. It literally wouldn't surprise me. They're 10 points behind us. And seriously, I just don't know whether, if we do not win on Saturday, I don't honestly think we'll win for the rest of the season. And I'm sorry, Jimbo, to be so doom and gloom, because I am embracing the championship with Lincoln away, ole. But that's how I feel. If we cannot get a win on Saturday at home, I thought it was, I don't know what actually happened, but I know they were talking about doing another parade of hope or whatever, show support. And the players said, the parade of hope. The players said that they're going to come in on their cars, which I thought was random as well. But I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not embracing delegation. I don't embrace any sort of relegation. I'm just accepting.
I don't want to go down. I just think we are. There's a huge difference, and I know people can't wrap. I see people go into other chats, right, and say Savva wants to go down. I'm like, no, you're not listening to a word I'm saying. I think we're going down, but look, Jim is right. There could be twists and turns, but the problem is, I've also heard from people like Jim for 14 games that there's twists and turns, and there's been no twists or turns. It's been one slippery pole right from the top straight down to the bottom. There's been no turns at all. And
yeah, no, you're right, Savva. It's not over until it's mathematically over. But I don't know.
Not over till the fat lady sings, and I am not singing yet.
You know, this is Ian Beale settings. This is, I've got nothing left. You know, that's how we all feel. I'm not looking forward to Saturday. I'd rather just forget Saturday's happening and we get to Sunday, you know, because I just can't. I think people at the start as well, and I think rival fans, I know they would love it and everything else, but I think actually now they're starting to feel sorry for us because they're actually like, wow, this is actually going to happen. Like, it was fun at the start, but it's not fun anymore because they lose every week. It's, you know.
At first, when this bad run started happening, like, I mean, bear in mind, it's been like this for years now. It was like, oh, it's Spurs. Don't be stupid. Going down. Shut up. Our players are way too good. Week on week for the last 2 years, I've gone, hang on, these players aren't actually that good.
Yeah.
And we could go down. And I think what a lot of fans didn't factor in this year was last year, Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton were terrible. This year, the teams down the bottom, all right, we could say Burnley and Wolves have been poor, but no one else is that bad. Like we say bad, no one else is that bad that they're cut adrift. And we all thought West Ham were going into January. I remember we were like 12, 13, 14 points clear of West Ham. They took their January transfer window seriously, right? We didn't.
You know, the other thing, we all mocked Nottingham Forest for sacking their managers left, right and centre, but it's worked. It's actually worked for them. It hasn't worked for us, but it's worked for them.
It has. And thank you to Ange for going there and being so bad that he's kept Forest down with us.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, I'm going to do some super chats. I'll call it a day. I'll send everybody over to Sean. Look, big up to DB Forever with a super sticker. Thank you very much. Always generous with the super stickers, DB. Look at those players in that little thumbnail of yours. Look at that when we were winning trophies and playing good football. Big up to you, my man. Big up to Machina Joe's an Everton fan. Machina Joe, I told you all year, didn't I? David Moyes, be patient, good manager. You said he's shit. You boys are on the verge of Europe. And by the way, a player I would take like that from Everton, Garner. Give me Garner from Everton in our midfield. Really good footballer. Big up to you, Machina Joe. Big up to Tin Man 007. Long time no see. Hope you're well, my man. So don't expect us to come straight back up, where we'll be playing 46 cup ties. You need to fight and battle our way out that league. How's the battle fight going for us now? Fans are in for a shock. Completely agree. Fans are going to be in for a massive reality check if we get relegated. The level of players we're going to sell, the level of players we're going to have to buy. Every week, every away ground we go to, their fans are going to have party time. Every away fans that come to us are going to be like, what a day out of this lovely stadium. You're absolutely right, Tim, man. You're absolutely right. Big up to you, my man. And Jordan Coys, always super generous to me. Thank you so much. I said Tottenham Hotspur is a graveyard for managers. We don't buy the quality players to win in the short term, but ain't willing to allow a manager to build for the long term. Correct. Enoch are forever hoping we stumble upon something good. Correct. And let's be fair, we stumbled upon Poch. Poch stumbled upon a formula and we didn't build behind it. And since then, we gave Nuno 3 months, Frank 6 months. These like you. Hey, it is what it is, Jordan. You're spot on as always. Thank you very much, my man. Let me just quickly set this up to go to Sean. 1 second. Customization. I never do this at the beginning and I always forget. So Sean is live talking about Moneyball. So get over, share the love. Just say Savva Raid or fhtv Raid. I'm going to go and eat some food. I want to eat. I just feel like I want to eat my body weight in chocolate today. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Nick. By the way, when I have the FHTV barbecue this summer, it could also double up as a relegation party. So.
Oh, no.
Well, let's bring the flares. Let's bring the flags. Let's put the coats past the front of the house. Let's sing Kumbaya around the barbecue.
What day do we play next weekend? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Sorry, say that again.
What day do we play next weekend
Sunday,
against Wolves? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
So what are we? We're Tottenham, aren't we? I forget sometimes.
Unfortunately.
Shit, Savva, that's what we are.
Right.
Shit.
So we play on the 25th. So we play Saturday at 3 p.m. against Wolves.
Well, I won't be home for that. I'm taking Jimbo to Manchester next week to see Matt Rife because we need
leave him there. Leave Jimbo there.
I thought you were going to say,
have his
I thought
positivity
you
with Man
were
City
going to say, oh, we're going to watch some decent games of football because, you know.
What, in Manchester? No.
Yeah.
No, we're going to watch a comedian. He'll probably make a joke about Spurs, probably. You know, he's American, but he knows that this shit.
I like Matt Rife. He's a funny fucker, that lad.
I paid a fortune to get second row.
God, he's good. He's going to pick on you. That'll be good.
Good.
Brighton, 5:30 this Saturday. Following Saturday is Wolves at 3 p.m. And then I believe it's the following Sunday away at Aston Villa. Now, that's going to be interesting because Aston Villa chasing Europe look like they're going to just cruise to Champions League at the moment. They're cruising towards it. Anyway, much love. Take care. Big up, Ellie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ellie.
12:30 kickoff, Savva, as well. So, you know, we're good at 12:30 kickoffs.
Oh, mate, we're not good at any kickoff, mate. Any kickoff that starts between Monday and Sunday, we're not. The
only kickoff we are good at, and we're not even good at that, is arguing about this football club.
Anyway, get over to Sean, Savva Raid, FHTV Raid, whatever raid you want to say. Much love. Thanks, guys. And come on, Sporting Lisbon, I guess is where we're at as a fan base. Come on, Sporting Lisbon. And come on, Man City. Let's hope they beat them at the weekend. Take care. Much love. And as always, Enoch out, Jimbo out, Kate and Barry in, Savva in, and come on, you Spurs.